Good morning, Give STL Day nonprofits. This is Chris Strub, the Giving Day guy. It is Thursday, April 27th. So we are less than 2 weeks out from the 10th annual Give STL Day. You are watching a replay of the live stream orientation call that we're putting on for the participating nonprofits on our live stream. So if you're watching or listening, thanks for taking the time. We're going to walk through some of the logistics of the big live stream schedule that we have planned. We've got Greg here from the Community Foundation as well. And I'm going to press the button here and we're going to let in a whole cascade of nonprofits. So yeah, buckle up. Here we go. Watch this, Greg. This is so much fun. This is such a cool, like, empowering moment. Here we go.
It is. I'm excited.
And this is my third one of these calls that I get to do today too. So, because I've got two giving days coming up next week also.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. We're going to start to see some of our nonprofit friends showing up. There's Tim. Tavon is here. There's Kat. Hello. What's up, Tavon? Kathleen. And so as you guys are joining in, oh, Kathy is a 10 out of 10 on Room Rater. That looks awesome, Kathy. I'm jealous. Great work. We've got more people coming in. So I'm just going to give it a 30 seconds here. I'm still pressing the admit button as folks are joining.
Yep.
Oh, looks like Tammy's here too. That's great. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Again, as you're joining in, you are more than welcome to turn your camera on if you'd like. I would call this a camera optional meeting. I know that is helpful sometimes to people that don't want to be on camera. But of course, we will be talking all this morning about how we'll definitely be getting you on camera on May 10th and 11th. We've got a lot to talk about here in the next 25 minutes or so. So looks like that's pretty much everyone. Will keep. Okay, here comes Michael. Nope, we're still got people coming in. Okay, perfect.
She's the head of care.
All right. Hey, so good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Chris Strub. I call myself the Giving Day guy. And I would just ask if you've got some background noise going on, you can mute yourself or I can mute you. I call myself the Giving Day guy because I work with nonprofits and giving days all around the United States. Some of you may actually remember, I worked with Give STL Day back in 2019, and then in the really fun year of 2020. So some of you may remember me from back then. If you do, hello. Nice to see you again. If not, nice to meet you this morning. We are joined this morning by Greg from the St. Louis Community Foundation. And again, I'm going to just kind of mute everyone that is coming in, except you, Greg. You can stay unmuted. Greg, you want to say hi?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Ampadu. I am the communications intern here at the St. Louis Community Foundation, and I am happy that you all are joining us today.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Greg, thanks for that. So Greg is going to be kind of my sidekick and my right-hand man. And we were talking before this call, he's going to help DJ as I listen to Nelly driving all around St. Louis in a couple weeks as well. But Greg has been incredibly helpful in this process and putting all this together. Emily Bauman, who you probably know from the foundation, will not be joining us this morning because she has another call. But of course, Emily has been sort of leading the way on this 10th annual Give STL Day, this huge event that, of course, you are all a very important part of coming up on May 10th and 11th. So on May 10th and May 11th, you will be the star of our show. You were invited to fill out this form that we sent out to solicit your interest in participating in this stream. And we were able to build out a schedule that accommodated as many nonprofits as we could. I do want to give a special shout out and thank you to those of you who have been part of Give STL Day for all 10 years now. Just finger snaps and round of applause for all of you guys, because that is just really, really special that you've been with us and with the foundation along this ride for all 10 years. And for those of you who have not been here 10 years, we look forward to having you aboard for the next 10 years. That this Giving Day has become such a special opportunity for you guys to reach new donors, to raise tons of money, and to really help beat the drum and raise awareness of your organization and your impact in the local community. Now, what I get to do is work with Giving Days like yours around the US to use live streaming video to help bring that impact to life. It looks a little different in every community, but on May 10th and May 11th, we've got a really special celebration strategy planned that really will help emphasize your stories and your messages. There's more than two actually, but there's two main parts of our live streaming strategy that we are going to talk through today. And I think Tammy is here from Union Station. So Tammy, if you want to wave hello. There you are, Tammy.
Hello.
Actually, our first time meeting. So I do want to say special shout out to Tammy. Tammy, you want to introduce yourself and just say hi real quick?
Sure. Hi, everybody. We're really looking forward to welcoming you to Union Station coming up here in not too much more time. Hard to believe.
Yeah, it's flying by, isn't it?
It is coming up real quick. So Tammy, actually, which organization do you work with? You want to give us 30 seconds on that, Tammy?
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm the executive director at the St. Louis Aquarium and at the St. Louis Aquarium Foundation. And so we've been obviously not with you for 10 years because we just opened about 3 years ago, but we're looking forward to being with you for the next 10.
Perfect. So Tammy and the team at Union Station have very generously offered us this great space at Union Station on May 10th. And that is where we're going to be situated for the bulk of our live streaming strategy. If I can get a nod of the head from you guys that you received your schedule, so you guys kind of know, perfect, excellent, that's great. So you have received that time slot when we're inviting you down to come on and speak with either me or Greg, or possibly someone else from the Community Foundation for roughly 8 to 10 minutes will be our plan for that in-person interaction. That time period would include any video that you sent over. And of course, the fun part about being in person is I would also love to invite you to bring down any props or anything that you have that can sort of show off what your organization can do. I'll be using a multi-camera setup there, again, in conjunction with the great team at Union Station, to really be able to create this really fun, interactive, dynamic look and feel of this live stream that I hope will really impress you guys when you get to see it. I do ask that you arrive to Union Station about 10 to 15 minutes before your scheduled time slot. And that'll give you plenty of time to get over to us, get situated. We'll get a chance to talk for a couple of minutes before we actually come on the stream. And then, of course, we'll get going right at the top of each hour. Logistics. So we have a plan A and a plan B for Give STL Day. And I see Tammy smiling coming up on the 10th. Our plan A is to be set up outside at Union Station, which will really give us a fun, I love the idea of being kind of outside and, being in the fresh air, breathing in that St. Louis atmosphere. There's just something special, especially about being right there in the center of the city. However, in the case of inclement weather, which I have heard has happened once or twice in the city of St. Louis, so if it is either raining or too windy, or if it is too hot, which will be a judgment call we will make as soon as possible, we have our plan B set up, which will be inside of the Union Station hotel. And my understanding is it will actually be up on a second floor inside the Union Station Hotel. I want to be very, very clear that we will send out a map. I think we actually included the map in the email with the schedule, right? Cindy, I see Cindy's nodding. So you got them. Oh, I got to admit the next person in here. So you got that map. Plan A is that kind of northeast corner of the parking lot. And then plan B, if we do move to plan B, I will make sure that we have some sort of signs or something set up that directs you in through Union Station and up to that secondary location. Tammy, is that accurate? Am I nailing this here so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, perfect,
Hey,
perfect.
Chris, I wanted to interject, not to cut you off, but I see some questions coming up in the chat. I want to remind everybody that after this stream, we'll take all questions. So you can put your questions in the chat and we'll get to them after.
Yes. So I'm gonna kind of grandstand here for a couple more minutes just to get through everything, and then I promise we're gonna leave all kinds of time for your questions. But let's get right to this one right away. Actually, Denise says outside Union Station on Market side or train shed side. Tammy?
Train shed side. So if you know where the wheel is and Landry's restaurant, it is right next to Landry's restaurant. So you can use that as your key landmark.
Perfect. And I can guarantee you I will be enjoying a delicious lunch of some kind from Landry's restaurant. I've eaten there before. So I like I said, I've been to St. Louis for Give STL Day. But I've also spoken, if you guys are familiar with the Midwest Digital Marketing Conference, which is, every spring out there. My friends at UMSL actually put on that event there at Union Station. So really great to be coming back. So May 10th, all day long, we'll have that set up. We're going to say, ideally, we'll be outside right by Landry's, and we'll get you in and out. We'll be going sort of, we won't necessarily go in the order that you saw on the schedule. So if someone has an urgent need to go first, this will kind of be a play it by ear, like, does someone need to get on and get going kind of thing. There's no need to stress if you're listed fourth on the schedule that you think you have to go fourth. But we do ask that all the organizations get there on time because we'll have a limited staff there in terms of managing arrivals and stuff like that. So that will be really helpful. Part 2 of our live stream strategy is going to be the morning of May 11th. And that will be totally different. That will actually be a all virtual participation that I will be streaming from the St. Louis Community Foundation office, which is beautiful, by the way. Worked with a lot of giving days around the country and met a lot of community foundations. It is the nicest community foundation office like I've ever seen. So I can't wait to be back there. And so we'll have a setup there at the Community Foundation office. I believe there are 6 nonprofits per hour. And so we will be moving a little bit more quickly through that messaging. So you'll have a little bit shorter time frame to get through your window. Think maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes. Again, I'm not going to be sitting there staring at the clock, like making sure that we're done at a specific time, but just know that we are squeezing in more nonprofits for the virtual approach than we are for the in-person approach, just to take into account the additional time that you're spending driving to and from Union Station and stuff like that. If you sent over a video for either the May 10th window or the May 11th video, I will have that lined up in the system and we will play it as part of your appearance. Sometimes I get the question, will that be, right at the start of the appearance or kind of in the middle? We kind of play it by ear, to be honest with you. It's not a WWE entrance style where like your video hits and then we come right to you. Generally, what I would prefer to do would be to ask a question or two, then we'll play the video and then we'll come back and ask you something specific about the video. But if you feel really strongly that you want to see the video right away, we'll talk about that before the stream starts and we'll line that up in real time. Additionally, if you may have sent over B-roll video, what we can actually do is I can play that without sound, which is, yes, the definition of B-roll. But then you can actually keep talking over your video. So if that's something you would prefer to do, and you'd like to talk about your mission and stuff like that, as we look at some of the visuals, I can do that also. So if you send a video without sound, I'll know that it's B-roll. If you'd rather use your video as B-roll, we will figure that out, and I'm happy to accommodate that as well. Let's pause there. And Greg, I don't know if we're getting more questions in the chat or,
Yeah, we
okay.
actually are.
So
I have a few questions about videos. Kinetic Therapy is asking, can we still send a 30-second video? Sadly, I have a video, but they are long.
yeah, so I see all these questions. All these questions are about video. So let's cover all of them here at once. I
Okay.
know that Emily and Greg were asking for videos before you actually saw the live stream form. If you sent a video to them, I will have it, and there's no need to resend that. If you attach the video to the form, I have that also. So you'll be good there. If you did not attach a video to the form and you did not send a video to the foundation in their earlier solicitation, yes, you can still send me a video. I would be the person that you want to send it to. And I will make sure to put my email address here in the chat. It's chrisstrub@gmail.com. That's me. And here's what I would ask of you from a video perspective. Definitely no longer than 60 seconds, preferably closer to 30 seconds. If you send me a video that's longer than 60 seconds, what I will probably end up doing is cutting it pretty aggressively to 60 seconds. Which isn't always the best option, because sometimes you have these longer narrative videos and cutting it off isn't great. So I'll leave that up to you. If you want to play a portion of a longer video, I want to see who asked that. Jamie, I can do that. But certainly the preference would be to have a shorter video that sums things up. I know you guys all know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Your video cannot have copyrighted audio because I cannot play As It Was by Harry Styles on a live stream without losing my Facebook account. So if you sent me a video and it has copyrighted material, please be respectful of the work that we're doing. And I'm just not going to play it. But I think all of you guys know those rules by now on social media, that it would really jeopardize both my personal Facebook account and the community foundation's account. So we're not going to do that.
I have another question here, Chris. And this one is asking sort of a bit of confusion about the video. Are you talking about the 30-second video, or can we send another one that's longer to you?
If you would like to resubmit a video to me, that's fine. So even if you've sent one in already, cool. Just email me. And the last point I would make on this, Greg, to the nonprofits is send it to me in a way that I can download it. So please, it is definitely better if you send me a Dropbox or a Google Drive or a WeTransfer or something like that, where I can just download the file, as opposed to sending a YouTube link. When you send me a YouTube link, you're not actually sending me the file, and it's just kind of really a pain to try and get it. Whereas if you send me the actual file, perfect. But here's what I want you to do when you send me a video. Don't freak out if I don't reply right away, because I tend to download all of these videos in one shot. That's just a lot easier for me to process. Like, I'll go on to the Google form and I'll download all the videos, and then I will flag all of your emails that you send that's like, hey, Chris, here's my video, thanks. I will have it, I will get it, but I won't write back until I actually download it into my system. And that's kind of my easiest way that I found over the years to make sure that I keep everything all in one place. So do me a favor. If you send me a video and you don't hear back from me by like that Monday, like before Give STL Day, send me another follow-up email that's like, hey, Chris, just making sure you got this. And that will really help me make sure that I got it. You will get, if I got your video, you will get a response from me that says, thank you, I appreciate it, smiley face, or whatever I have the capacity to write back at that moment, because it's a busy time. But just make sure you do get a response from me to confirm that that video is in my system. if you're sending it to me separately.
Awesome.
Danny says, should B-roll video also be only 60 seconds? Yeah, please don't send me a video that's longer than 60 seconds if you can avoid it. 60 seconds is plenty of time for B-roll. Bonnie asked, who is the audience of the live stream? Where does it stream and who watches it? So here's the strategy behind the live stream. The primary place that we're going to be streaming the video to is to the St. Louis, the Give STL Day, St. Louis Community Foundation Facebook pages. And the reason that I came up with this live stream concept actually 8 years ago now in Louisville was this, that each and every one of you as a nonprofit have your own separate audiences that are really eager to hear from you and want to see what you're up to. So the psychology behind doing this sort of live stream activity is that we will encourage you to share the broadcast with your followers. So you'll get the link in advance. You can only create such links up to 7 days before an event on Facebook. So I literally can't create the links now, but those links will be made available to you in advance. You'll be able to share out that link on whatever social media channels you like. I'd also love if you wanted to share out the link to your email list, come, check us out and join the conversation at this time, XYZ, with the link. And that makes it really easy for people to make a note and to join in. And that is ultimately where a lot of the audience comes from, is from you guys. Comes from the followings that you have worked so hard to build on your social channels over the years. And we kind of build this pillar content that makes things really centralized and really interesting. And as I mentioned, kind of high value for everyone to see. We're kind of the prize central. And as you'll see, if you haven't seen any of my work in years past, we'll also have the ticker on the screen as the live stream is going on, as well as calls to action to go to, givestlday.org to donate, stuff like that. So as we cross that $1 million mark, $2 million, et cetera, as those dollars climb up, you'll actually see that simultaneously with the interview that you're doing. And I can guarantee that some of you guys will be on when we cross some pretty significant milestones. And that's going to be really cool to see. And you'll see how we kind of pivot, and maybe we pause for a moment to throw some confetti or something. I'll see what Emily can get us, but we will be doing these streams live with the intention of picking up on that energy that is happening during Give STL Day. And that's really where the fun part comes in. So if we cross a milestone while we're live with you, awesome. It's your lucky day. And I'll be sure to take a clip of that video and tweet it out, and we'll put it on Instagram and all that stuff as well. And we'd love for you to do the same thing. Greg, I'm continuing to look at the questions here.
Yeah, we have one that came in asking, it says, hi, we give adapted trikes to special needs children. The best thing is to have a child there on their trike with the parent. Will one of our members be allowed as well, since that exceeds 2 people? And it also says we do have music on our video. Is that not able to be used?
Okay, so 2 questions there. Is it Lane or Laney? If you want to unmute, if you want to follow up to make sure I answer your question completely, let's do that. And what I don't know is,
Hi.
There you are. Are you coming in? Nice to meet you. Are you coming in on May 10th, or are you on the virtual stream on May 11th?
May 10th at 3 o'clock.
Okay, so when I talk about the 2-person max, really the most important piece of that to me is that'll be kind of the microphone setup that I have. So I think you'd be perfectly fine with bringing in, parent-child pair along with you, something like that. We'll obviously have plenty of space out there at Union Station, but just in terms of getting people mic'd, that's really where that capacity issue starts to come in.
Sure.
But we can absolutely accommodate being able to show those visuals. And then again, if the child wants to say something or something like that, you can take the mic and kind of hand it to them.
Yeah. The child we've used before, she's for other things, she's very vocal. She's in 4th grade now. So.
Okay,
third
perfect.
grade, I guess. So
That'll be
Yeah.
awesome. That's exactly the sort of, visuals that we'd love to see. And I'm very much looking forward to meeting you guys.
thank you.
So we will definitely do the best that we can to, show you guys off in the best light. And I'll also do the best that we can to accommodate from a microphone's perspective as well. But that 2-person rule of thumb is generally just to make sure that we're not, overcrowding the camera and stuff like that. But in an instance like yours, I think that's more than perfectly fine. And thank you for coming down to be part of this with us. The second part of your question was about the music on your video. So here's the distinction. If your music is royalty free, it's fine. And I know a lot of you guys over the years have created videos like that use royalty free music. So that's the distinction there.
Okay.
As long as it's not some, pop culture song or, something like that is copyrighted,
Something
you
that can
should,
get us in trouble.
yeah, something that's gonna, get us in trouble would be problematic. But if it's your, something that you made in iMovie or Canva or something like that, it'll be perfectly fine.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I look forward to meeting you.
Me too.
Sarah says, for those of us going on May 11th, do we have a specific time or just at some point within the hour, just so we know what time to share with our networks? So we're not going to break it down specifically by, those 5-minute segments. I would encourage you to just kind of say, we'll be on during this broadcast. If you really feel like you need to go first, we can do something like that. But what I intend to do with this sort of stream also here, Sarah, is kind of have everyone on together just at the very beginning of each stream to kind of let everyone that's watching know that their person that they're rooting for is coming up, if that makes sense. And it'll make more sense when you see it kind of visually, but I've done this with great effect with other giving days before. It works out really, really well, where we just kind of tease that we have this group of guests coming on, and then we'll kind of go in sequence. When we are live is our direct donation link. Sports Center notification, sorry about that. When we are live is our direct donation link showing somewhere for people to click. So we will be constantly pushing people to givestlday.org and then to type in and go to your page. I may also be able to use the visual aspects of the stream to show off some of your pages, but the general push from our end, from the foundation end, and again, part of this is the diplomatic side of things also, is to push people to givestlday.org. And then one pro tip for you: if you have someone or someones who can watch the stream as you're going on and wants to jump in the comments to even include your direct link to your page, that's a great way to do it. And that would really create that opportunity for people who are watching to be able to click directly to your page. I know this is a somewhat, it's a very friendly, uplifting community atmosphere, but I also definitely respect the competitive side of Give STL Day and all these giving days in general. So if you want to get that little edge, it's always great to see nonprofits, colleagues and supporters jumping in the comments section. And that adds a lot of fun energy to the live stream itself to do that. And Greg, I'm going to keep kind of barreling through these here because I know we're coming up on 11:30. Well, 11:30 Eastern. I'm in South Carolina. I know you guys are in St. Louis. Can we bring a dog with us? I see Tammy turn the camera back on. That should be okay outside, I would think, right? Is that all right?
Yeah, actually, both locations are pet friendly, so dogs would be fine in both locations that we're looking at, inside and outside.
Absolutely wonderful. Tammy, I also want to say thank you again for, accommodating us with this space and also answering just as many questions as I am during this Zoom.
Not even close.
It's been greatly helpful. Can you share about, Katie asked, can you share about the recommended streaming / text setup for those of us who are on May 11th? Sure. I think you definitely want to join again with the best possible device that you have. So if you have, let's say you have a newer iPhone and your laptop is a little bit older, you're going to want to use that newer device, and that's going to give you the sharpest look and feel on the camera, right? So if you need to borrow a a phone from a colleague or, one of your kids' phones or something like that, you want to use the most state-of-the-art device that you can, but really any device that you have is going to work best. Headphones are recommended, but not required. You'll be given this link in advance, so you can feel free to test out what your setup is going to look and sound like. And the other pro tip that I would say is when we send you this link, you can actually share that link with a colleague or join from 2 different devices. So you can actually be able to see what this is going to look like for you in that guest environment. And it's very simple, where you just join in and you're in a window like this, where you'll be able to see how that interaction takes place. But if you want to frame out your shot or something like that, you can do that. The other thing that I would say here, Katie, is I'm going to make sure that we include, and I think I probably sent this in the initial email the other day, but I sent out a YouTube link that was titled How to Be a Great Virtual Live Guest. And I include a ton of really valuable tips in there. I've had a lot of nonprofits say that they really got a lot out of checking that video out. So I would encourage you, if this has been helpful for you, if you want to hear more from me, I really walk through all my best tips in that video. Tavon asked what questions will be asked during the live stream. I would say think about it as think about the sort of softball-y type questions that you would be asked on TV or on the radio, right? We're going to ask you to speak broadly about your mission. I would say you might want to have an anecdote or a story ready to tell. Oftentimes, those are some of the most effective interviews that we do, are people sharing the story through the eyes or through the lens of an individual who has been helped by your organization. Having some stats ready would be great about the totality of your impact. And then usually we'll ask something about your involvement with Give STL Day. Why is today such an important part to give, time to give? If there are any specific prizes that you're chasing down, that would also be good information to have on hand. So hopefully that gives you a good overview. I can also certainly send you guys links to a lot of the sort of streams that we've done in the past, including some of the stuff we did at Give STL Day, where again, we're not sort of, it's not TED Talk style. We don't need super deep insights and everything. We're really just asking you to sort of touch on your involvement in the day and why your organization is important, as well as why donors should be donating. Another great thing to know would be the specificity of a dollar amount. And if someone donates $50 today, it does XYZ for our organization. Those sort of calls to action during your answers can be really valuable for those donors that are listening and looking for a reason to make a specific donation of a specific amount. So keep that in mind.
Hey, Chris, I just wanted to keep us in line with the time remaining. We do have 3 minutes left. So I would suggest we barrel through a couple more questions, and if there are any outstanding questions we don't get to, if they could email it to you for a follow-up.
Yes, you can also connect with me on social media. I'm great with answering DMs on Instagram. Is a great place to find me if you wanted more. You can also see some of what I'm doing next week in Columbia, South Carolina, and in York, Pennsylvania. It won't be exactly the same, but it'll be somewhat similar. So if you find me on Instagram and Twitter at Chris Strub, you'll see a lot of other information about 2 other giving days that I'm actually doing right before Give STL Day. Greg, I see all these questions and I'm going to run through them super quick because we are going to run out of time. So yes, if you want to bring another kid or 2 during the background for circus things, awesome. We're all 4 kids and we'd love to have that. When you replied initially, I didn't have a second person. Am I able to add a second person now? You don't even need to email me. Email me the name of the person that you that's going to be there with you. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. Kat and Matthew ask, will the live stream still help us? Yeah. And I love that Sophie jumped in and said live streams really help when you have another staff member posting, sharing on social media. And yes, Kat and Matthew, the idea here is that we want you guys to kind of be able to benefit from the broader scope of what we're doing with all of these other organizations, and then jump under the umbrella of the Give STL Day team and the strength of what we're doing with our live streams for a central organization. So yes, we want new people to hear about you through these streams, and we're going to do everything that we can to drive that general traffic to what you're doing. You'll also have an opportunity to talk about your social channels and give people a chance to connect directly with you. Latia says, are the streams going to be recorded? Yeah, and they will be immediately available for replay. So if someone wakes up at 8 or 9 and they want to catch your stream at 7, the other thing that I would say, Latia, is 7 a.m. is a great time to be on the live stream. I generally find that morning before people go to work is going to be some of the most viewed, if not the most viewed, based on the years of data that I've collected doing this. And when it comes to props, Sophie, and this is the last question that we might have time for, yeah, bring a sign. What do people normally wear? You notice that I'm branded like crazy. I've got my Louisville hat and my NEPA Gives shirt on, for example. So you can see that I'm telling part of the story of being the Giving Day guy just through what I'm wearing and showing. If you're on the virtual stream, it'd be great to have a step and repeat or a sign or something behind you. But please check out that YouTube video with how to be a great virtual live guest. Even if you're coming in person, it may give you some additional tips. My Zoom is going to cut us off here abruptly in a moment. So I need to say thank you guys for taking the time to do this. I apologize for only having the 40-minute Zoom. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have more questions, just reach out to me via email. Send me a text on Give STL Day. Please don't call me. And thank you again to Tammy. I hope I haven't spoken too fast. To Greg and Emily, thank you for everything with you guys.